Hello, good evening, this is Diecast Lou and I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Vintage Matchbox Mondays, episode 62 of Vintage Matchbox Mondays episodes. And this week I thought we'd take a look at some vintage Matchbox motorcycles or motorbikes. As I had someone comment, I'm not sure when now, it wasn't that long ago, asking me if I had any vintage Matchbox motorbikes or any Matchbox motorbikes in general. And I said I did. So anyway, I thought I'd do a video today on it. I'm going to be taking a look at about 4, possibly 5 models I want to show. I have got more, but I can't seem to remember where I squirreled them away. I've put them away somewhere safe in one of these big boxes that I've got, and I can't find it. But anyway, we will take a look at what it is I've got, and I hope this will satisfy. You have to forgive me who it wasn't actually left the comment. I will try and remember. But anyway, let's get straight into it and take a look at what I've got. So let's put the camera up a little bit as it's a little bit low. And this one came from all the way from Australia. This came from Tyrone at Building the Ultimate Matchbox Car Collection a while ago. I was very lucky that he sent me this. So as you can see, it says Matchbox in the box, Australia Post. So box is fairly plain. I'm just trying to figure out what date it was made. Got a little bit of blurring out going on. Let's try some zoom. There we go. So nothing there. There's could be a copyright date here somewhere. Possibly. Not quite sure at the second. So let's get it cracked open. Anyway, it has been opened before. Excuse me. But I'm not quite sure how old this is. I think it's possibly around the 2000s. Possibly. But anyway, it is pretty cool. It looks like it's based on a Harley Davidson. And straight away, it's got a nice bit of weight to it, from what I can gather. The frame and the tank is all die-cast metal. Obviously, it's plastic engine, plastic seat, plastic front end. Excuse me. But it is very cool. So there you go. PMG, is it? Yeah, PMG. I think it's on the side there. So this, I think, is to obviously do with Australian Post. But it is very cool. There you go. That 1200 stands for is a 1200cc motorbike. This is very similar to what the police would have rode once upon a time in America. They used to ride patrol bikes, and I have seen other variations of this. I've seen a white variation. I think they do a police variation. It looks like it's got metal spoked rims with what looks like them sort of, oh no, they're quite soft plastic, quite soft rubberized tires, I should say. But it is very cool. And like I said, I'm not quite sure of the date. As the writing, the paint's quite thick, so there is a copyright date there, but I don't think I can make it out. It looks like it's saying 1980. Was that 90? But that's probably it looks like 1980, but I don't think this is 1980. I think this is probably, I'm going to have a stab in the dark and think this is probably from, I'd say, the 90s, later 90s possibly. But I will look it up and leave the date at the bottom. But anyway, it is very cool. Like I said, it did come all the way from Tyrone Building the Ultimate Matchbox Car Collection. So very happy to have it. So that's the first piece. And yeah, it does lean to the side like they used to. Now, I'll show one of my favourite older pieces. So this is, obviously it is a Honda. It does pronounce it slightly different there, but I suppose that's probably a copyright thing, possibly, I don't know. But it is based on the old Honda 754. 754 basically meant it was a Honda 750cc engine, and the 4 was for 4 cylinders. And this is obviously based on the, when the Honda 750 was pretty much new out. So there is some licensing. It has got quite a nice condition box. And this is what I had quite a few of these as a child. They did a police version. They did quite a few versions. But anyway, let's get it open and we'll take a look at it. And I'll say what I was going to say when the bike is actually out of the box. So let's just try to destroy the box. And I got this one. I can't actually remember where I got this from now, but I know it wasn't expensive. I got a really, really good deal on this. I think it was under £10. I can't remember where I got it from. Might have been an online purchase. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at. So back in the day, they were, like I said, pretty much the same as this. But the newer ones. Now this is one of the later ones they did, and I believe this is from about 1978. This should have a clearer copyright date on the bottom, possibly, if we're lucky. So let's zoom in again and take a look. So there you go, Leslie, England, Honda, something 70, is that 74 or 71? 74 it looks like. But like I said, this is one of the later ones. The earlier ones had metal handlebars and front forks, and do you know what, I can't actually remember if they steered or not. That I can't remember. But like I said, this has got a plastic front end. The wheels are the same, they are metal wheels, but they are very detailed for what they are, for what they were. As you can see, you've got quite nice engine detail there. You can make out the cooling fins on the engine. You can see it's got what looks like twin carbs. I would have thought it would have had quad carbs, but maybe it only had twin carbs. I don't know. But I remember back in the day, the seats would get lost quite easily, but they were very robust, and I had quite a few. Like I said, I had the police one and a few different other ones. I think there was a police one that came with the magged magged wheels. But when I seen this, I had to get it, as like I said, it's that whole nostalgia thing. But again, it has the stand. As you can see, it does stand rather well. Like I said, it is very nicely detailed for a toy from the late 70s. So anyway, so that is the Honda 754. Next is another piece that again I had as a child. Not this particular piece, and it is this very interesting looking trike, which I bought from Car Boot Sale a couple of years ago now. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a tickly throat. And I only paid £2 for this, and it's in tremendous condition for something that was £2. And it's amazing that the horse's head's still there and nothing has broken off. And its actual name, if we look underneath, so it just says Matchbox Chopper number 38. And I think it says can't quite make it out. Let me just take a look off camera a second so I can get a bit of closer look. Yeah, I think it says Stingaroo, but it is in remarkably good condition. It isn't mint, but it's near enough mint. The engine's got a little bit of chrome loss there, but you can allow that, because like I said, it is from the early 70s or mid 70s. But it is awesome. It is an awesome piece, and again, quite nicely detailed for something that's basically made up. I know there's quite artistic looking trikes out there, but this is obviously like a fantasy piece. So very, very cool. I don't know how well it rolls, and it rolls very well, and it looks like it's got a bit of a supercharger there. So anyway, so that is the Stingaroo apparently. Then the next piece is not in such good condition, but I didn't pay a lot for this. I think I got this from a 50p pile somewhere. I think this was a flea market. And this one is usually a little bit harder to come across. This one, yeah, it's got plastic forks, but this is again another chopper from about the same time period. So Matchbox Chopper number 71. It just says Jumbo Jet. In actual fact, this is 72. Yeah, I think they're both 72 copyright. If I remember rightly. So look at the back of this. Yeah, 72. But like I said, it's not as in such good condition. A lot of the chrome has come off the pipes, and it's got some paint missing on the lower parts of the die-cast frame. But I won't do nothing with this, as it didn't cost a lot, and it's still in just that bit of too good a condition to really do much with. You can see what it is. I've seen these in a lot worse condition, with these bits completely snapped off or these bits missing. These are usually the first bits to go, but it is pretty cool. And again, I don't know how well it rolls, quite nice. So that's those four, and let me just grab something else just what's to hand, just bear with me. And here it is. So it is obviously this Honda on the trailer. It reminds me of a Manx Norton, but obviously it's not, it's a Honda. And again, I didn't pay a lot for this, so let's just pull it off. So that obviously that's the trailer part. I think it's just I'm just looking at the dates on the trailer. Motorcycle trailer, Honda. But again, this is the bit that I'm more interested in. So obviously it is a racing Honda. Like I said, it is very much like the Manx Norton, something you'd see at the TT back in the day. And it's not in too bad a condition. Again, it is there. It's got the harder plastic tyres, almost like a nylon effect. It's got the same wheels, funnily enough, as the Honda 754. But again, it's I won't do nothing with this, as it's in, you know, it's play worn, but it's there. And these came in many different colours. I believe the one, I think is it a purple one? I can't remember now. That's one of the more unique ones. But again, nice detail. And these would look good to, when, you know, these sort of things, you could have played with them obviously, but they would have looked good on your shelf. They were quite detailed for what they were. So that is that. So that's the end of the Matchbox ones, and now I'm going to show one non-Matchbox one. So I'm just going to grab it. So just bear with me again. And here it is, the last piece. And the reason I'm showing this, even though it's not a Matchbox, is when I went to buy a particular car. I bought a car a while back, and when I bought the car, the guy that was selling me the car offered me this. And back when I first got this, I didn't realise, I actually thought it was from the earlier Matchbox, but it isn't. This is made by a company called Benbros, and it just says Mighty Midget, which, if I remember rightly, I think was a TV series, and in the TV series Mighty Midget there was Vespa scooters. So the company Benbros made their own version of the Mighty Midget scooter. So you can see it says number 15 Vespa scooter, made in England. But it was, again, like most things back then, it was in competition with Matchbox, but it has got that sort of Matchbox feel. Obviously it's not a Matchbox box, but it's got that same sort of look. And if I remember rightly, this was made about 1956, this actual 1957, so it's in really good condition. The box and the bike is in there, obviously. But I just thought I'd show this. I have showed this piece before, but it is very cool, especially if you like Vespa scooters. So, and here it is. So it is missing its man. So you can see there's a hole there. It would have been like a die-cast man, I believe, and his foot had like a peg, and it would have sat through that hole. It wasn't fixed to the motorbike. It literally just popped in and clipped in there, and you could unclip it, hence why it's missing. And it is very rare to come across one of these bikes in this condition, with its box, with its man. These are quite valuable. Not highly valuable, but they're quite valuable. mainly because of its oddness and rareness, I should say. But there you go, made in England. Like I say, it is made by a company called Ben Bros. I thought at first it was like, I think it's Moco Matchbox. Back in the early days when Matchbox was with Moco, I think they were doing Moco Matchbox. I'm not hot on the really older Matchbox stuff. More the 70s and late 70s into the early 80s is my sort of interest and where I know more about Matchbox. But this is what I thought this was at first, but it isn't. Like I said, it is its own company. It is from a company called Ben Bros. But I just thought it'd be cool to show it. It almost looks like someone's painted it with hammerite, but apparently it is original. I've had other people look at this that know more about this type of stuff than I do, and they did say yes, it is in remarkably good condition. It is authentic. So anyway, so that is this week's episode. So I'll lean that to one side. I'll put these like this. Something a bit different. And like I said, I have got other motorbikes here, but I just don't know where I've put them. I've also got quite a nice collection of Hot Wheels motorbikes. Excuse me. But I will do that another time. I'm just trying to think whilst let me just have a little look in my, yeah, here it is. This is a modern version from Hot Wheels. I know it's obviously not a vintage piece, but this is the sort of stuff that Hot Wheels has put out now, and it's very reminiscent of the 754. I think it's based somewhere along, it's like a cafe racer, but this is a very good and quite a nice example. This is from the main line, but it is very cool. But it does remind me, that's why I bought this, even though it's Hot Wheels and not Matchbox. I believe I bought this because it reminded me of that. But anyway, going off the track a bit, please like, share, subscribe, stay tuned for more Vintage Matchbox Mondays episodes. And with that, I'll see you all very soon. Thank you for watching. Take care.